Leave everything on this journey to me.
Let's get down to business. It's my lucky day. That hurt! How's this?
Into the wind!
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. Though he's making every effort to persevere.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, let's keep going. Time to go. Time to go.
Let's get down to
One
business.
with nature. The wind knows me.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer.
But what would...
I will be careful with it. He's still trying to achieve his goal. Time to go. One with nature.
Cut down. This.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about? Huh? What the? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like...
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even... Maybe you did truly wield power to... It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I've finally figured out why it was you wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. But regrettably, we are not the only one who truly understood you. And already...
Huh?
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep Yup! We can help.
Don't worry. It's just...
Let's get down to business.
The wind knows me.
This.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara. No one knew anything of my story throughout. I thought that if I could achieve...
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not... Too much time has passed. Yours is the...
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both... This blade has skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, Tatarigami is a malevolence. Though you tried to cooperate...
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it.
I resisted its tempt. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination, you were destined never to. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further. When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breath, a newly forged blade lay by his side.
Wow.
Indeed. While in exile, he spent the rest of his life in the forge. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again so he instructed. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith.
So that's the truth. But after the...
Right. This blade has committed
Shame it's too late now.
Yes. It is too late. Time would not wait or... He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check.
When I look back at the past, I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed. But darkness and slaughter numbed the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, but I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the... So...
Hey! Now you're adding your...
It has to be done in this order, at my physical form, as well as the knowledge I...
His attitude hurt? What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again, nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were mere... You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true...
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
I see. He used my body to inflict harm on others. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how...
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. In any case, for a final duel...
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux class. Yep, we still can't. Still. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of
Successor of Amenoma art.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor.
Into the wind.
Settle down.
Thank you. Although he appears battered and broken, his sense of...
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you.
I must apologize to you for...
You need not seek my forgiveness. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right...
Thank you. Success.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenomas. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to...
I'm not sure.
I am sorry to have troubled...
A prized Ishin blade. But I have some good news as well. Ryuji...
Really?
Yes. Badly wounded, and now that Yuya is back, it seems like...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade
Yes. He said he wants to take control of...
What? No, what?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his make... I have decided...
But...
Thank you. Okay. I am ready.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything. You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions. and thus chose to bury this name. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really, really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them. I understand. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light, your quest to face the gods after everything I've seen.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Wait!
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to give him a
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. The Tenryou Commission is already attending.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaidahara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study, and so it looks like I will.
I see. I understand.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and.
You misunderstand.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own path.
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find—
Great.
Where will you travel to?
As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
You must have a whole bunch of Like, about these descenders. So, does that just mean people like you who come traveling to Teyvat from someplace else? And as for your sister... Whew, so many questions. Let's go find Nahida and see what else we can find out.
My apologies. This heavy rain must be quite an inconvenience for you.
Bow your head.
nature.
The tides beckon. Settle.
The wind knows me.
Silence! Bow your head.
Into the wind.
Be sanctified. Settle down.
The wind knows me.
Ad Astra at... Thank you for completing to... Ad Astra...
Time to get...
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tataris Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma! Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here is just going about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people here are free to research pretty much anything. Great! Let's go find out what this Tatarasuna mystery is all about.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
Ah, I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabukimono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kind of fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! Did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too. right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
No! Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well. Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay!
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about. Okay, then even if we did know something, after all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. And if you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay... Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Time to go.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. Did he escape or... Ah!
Sure enough.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary? I know you must have a lot of questions. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. A deal?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? But if that's the case...
Don't flatter yourself.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd...
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida.
It's not every day you see...
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. I take no pleasure in saying this, but...
Sometimes it's you using them. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. At least today can be a trial run. Where we go from...
All right.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you... Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. Yes. As I Oh, yeah. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly. Exactly! I understand. How things will go in the future. Our minds have connected several... As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, it's my pleasure, really. Paimon's still... I was going to contact you about that, but then... In fact, I was going to ask you this, even though he only... Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irmin's... Great. Prepare yourselves. Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know...
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so...
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be unlike anywhere else. Ermin, I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Fine. Let's call it true.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front.
You sure are confident.
If there are no further objection, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy.
We can start now.
Ermin Soul access granted.
Is this a small sap? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this... Ooh.
Ermin's soul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Pick your jaws up off the floor.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the...
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Can you still sense where the heart...
Yes. Permission to...
Permission granted.
Let's go. Stay...
Hey, so...
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got... Anything's possible in here.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Ermin's soul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus,
Paimon's never tried this, so Paimon's been wanting to ask you.
as I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that... done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gesse got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself, and making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light, it looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement! You have to share it with us!
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is as I understand, the Raiden, the forging industry with crystal marrow as a skills, blood, dreams.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the change.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because I'm in charge here. and I'm about to take some responsibility and head
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't—
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just...
Whoever you're working for...
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a... Make no mistake.
He has nothing to prove to anyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove... Mr. Niwa. Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. Well, I'd like to
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see—
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory.
Maybe so.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." The mechanic removed. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow,
Holy moly. So the doctor killed—
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Tottori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, aren't you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time. I don't know the detail. Did you get all that?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My powers all but completely. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your... No, I can't do anything like that anymore. So tell me, in this... Done.
Huh? What?
Nothing. I was just... So long.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running up?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names those who died in Tatarasuna because of me.
Hey, Valentine!
You know, I never did like, but if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone...
Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Oh no.
Oh.
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It was the Balladier's fault.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities?
Where the heck did he go?
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab on? He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just... It's like... Imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. So... Why does Paimon... Ooh, Paimon's so confused. Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... But... Erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? There's no way he'll... can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But so alright, Paimon will start. First, Andrean chili. Also. Paimon was, talking? Huh. Is that a food? What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something? So, the balladeer. Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay?
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. No. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline. But fortunately, if my memory serves me right...
Oh yeah, we learned a bit about the decline of the...
That, in fact, he told me that, there is no harm in telling you the Raiden Gokuden were the target...
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that, knowing that they had just one chance to save the smith's death. In his heart, powerless, and alas. Finally, he made it in his fury. He murdered in but when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clan, that is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin...
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why? My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to... On to the next